Let's get one thing straight. That avoidant man didn't accidentally confuse you. His inconsistency is the hook, and your own attachment wounds are the reason you can't seem to spit it out. He pulls away just to reset your craving, then he comes back with just enough attention to make sure you never, ever move on. If you've ever dealt with an avoidant partner, you know this cycle all too well. He opens up, and you feel a rush of hope. Then he withdraws, and you start to panic. He comes back, all soft and vulnerable, and you completely melt. And just when you finally feel secure, he shuts down again. You think you're just trying to understand him, but what's really happening is that you, trapped inside a psychological loop designed to keep you longing for more. And the most painful part? He's not doing any of this to build a real relationship with you. He's doing it to protect his distance, all while keeping you emotionally invested. This isn't chemistry. It's called the reward withdrawal cycle. And trust me, once you see it for what it is, you will never fall for it again. Avoidant men don't keep you hooked by giving you more love. They keep you hooked by giving you just enough, right after they've pulled away long enough to make your nervous system absolutely starve for it. The reward itself isn't what bonds you. The withdrawal is. Let's be brutally honest here. You're not attracted to his so-called mystery. You're reacting to his emotional unavailability. He avoids true intimacy not because he's strong, but because closeness completely overwhelms him. He was never taught how to receive love, so he creates distance to feel safe. But here's the trap. His avoidant behavior directly activates your old attachment wounds. You start to mistake that feeling of discomfort for real desire. It feels familiar, so you think it's right. Avoidant men excel at one specific thing: being warm just long enough to awaken your hope. He gives you that look, that touch, that moment of vulnerability, that softness, just enough to make you believe he's finally changing. But it's not real change, it's just a cycle reset. He pulls away to regulate his own emotions, and then he returns to regulate yours, just enough to keep you attached and waiting. You're not going crazy. Your brain is actually responding exactly as it's designed to. Unpredictable affection releases massive hits of dopamine. Your nervous system becomes addicted to the anticipation, not the actual reward of his presence. This is why consistent, secure partners can sometimes feel boring. Your body has been trained to survive chaos, not to rest in safety. Avoidant men don't feel addictive because they're special. They feel addictive because their inconsistency perfectly mimics your old childhood patterns. The cycle always starts with the reward. He's charming, he's attentive, he's emotionally open for a fleeting moment. He shows you these little glimpses of the man you wish he could be. Not the man he truly is, but the version of himself that he can play temporarily. This high is what gets you hooked. It's the feeling that keeps you hoping things will be different this time. And then comes the withdrawal. He distances himself. He gets cold. He stops communicating. He becomes vague, too busy, irritable, or just completely avoids you. Your anxiety spikes because your nervous system is literally in withdrawal. You immediately start to blame yourself. What did I do? Did I scare him off? Did I say too much? But it's not you. It's his own avoidant pattern being triggered by the intimacy you're offering. After you've suffered in that silence long enough, he returns. But he doesn't come back with commitment. He comes back with just enough warmth to make you forget the pain he just caused you. This feeling of relief bonds you even deeper. It makes you feel like the withdrawal period was somehow worth it. And just like that, the cycle resets. You start chasing that next high all over again. This is the exact mechanism of trauma bonding. This is where the trap really locks in. When he withdraws, you assume that you caused it. So you start to overfunction. You text more. You try harder. You become more easygoing. You avoid expressing your own needs. You lower your standards. You start managing his comfort instead of your own. And this teaches him one very simple thing. He can keep you by doing less and less. The truth is, avoidant men do crave love. But the moment someone truly sees them for who they are, they panic. To them, intimacy means pressure, expectations, and inevitable disappointment. Their biggest fear is not losing you, it's losing themselves, so they push away the very thing they desire most. He thinks that pulling away protects his freedom. He thinks closeness equals suffocation. Nobody ever taught him that emotional intimacy is not the same thing as emotional dependency. And because he fears being needed, he deliberately undergives to stay in control. This part probably hurts the most to hear. He doesn't return because he misses you deeply. He returns because the distance made him feel safe again. When the emotional tension finally lowers, he re-engages. Not to build something with you, but simply to stabilize his own comfort level. His warmth is not who he is. It's who he becomes when he doesn't feel threatened. His coldness, his distance, that's the real him. You have to stop falling in love with the reward phases and start paying attention to the withdrawals. So, when he pulls away, what should you do? Absolutely nothing. Chasing him only confirms his avoidant belief that intimacy equals pressure. It makes him retreat even further. Your silence is not a punishment, it's a boundary. It's you taking your power back. And this is where your power truly begins. Ask yourself, does his distance remind you of a parent who was unavailable? Does it feel like the love you always had to earn as a child? Does it mirror the chaos you normalized growing up? This isn't really about him. It's about your own unhealed attachment wounds. When you finally heal that wound, the avoidant man stops feeling so special. That intense chemistry you feel with an avoidant man, it's your trauma doing the talking. It's time to choose standards instead. Choose consistency, emotional presence, accountability, reliability, clarity, and safety. These aren't unreasonable demands. They are the bare minimums for a healthy relationship. The avoidant man cannot meet them consistently. And that, right there, is your answer. An avoidant man can heal, but only if he chooses to do the work himself. You cannot love him into emotional maturity. You cannot soothe him into commitment. If he isn't actively working on himself, your only move is simple. You have to walk away before this cycle becomes your entire identity. Avoidant men don't break you. It's the cycle that breaks you. The reward, the withdrawal, the relief, the hope, and then the inevitable crash. This is not love. This is addiction wearing romance as a mask. And the forbidden truth is this: you're not hooked on him. You're hooked on the version of yourself that appears when he temporarily chooses you. But you don't need a man who gives you crumbs to feel like you're worth something. Choose a life where consistency isn't a rare treat and where love doesn't feel like a battle for survival. If this felt a little too accurate, it's because you've lived it. subscribe to this channel. I'm here to help you break every cycle you were never taught how to escape.